Rusty. Rusty. Hey, Rusty. Rusty. Must be a good stick. Rusty. Say hi to everybody. Hello and welcome to Heaven's Mopars. I'm Scott. Scott with an S. I'm sorry. This is what we're working on today in Mopar land. Tick tock, on goes the clock. This is where I left off. Got a few screws set in here. One here, one there from the other side. Got my holes lined up for the rocker panel. I'm working on the charger. This turd, in case none of you have seen it before, and if you're new to the channel, that's a 69, well, it's a 70 charger, I was told. There's no VIN on it anywhere. It was in a junkyard sitting on top of another car, and you can kind of see it over here a little more, but they put a pole through here and lifted it up, and it jacked up the top of the car. For some reason they welded it back on crooked. Yes, you can really see it on that side. But this whole top is coming off. The floor came out, the whole front half of the car came off, and I put a new half of the car on it. Now I'm doing the rocker panel completely, and that's what I'm working on now. Oh yeah, and there is no back half to the car whatsoever. So the car is going to get back halved with some big old meats in the back. So might as well. But this is what I got going on. And this, I have these pieces of metal flush and straight on each end. But as you notice, it kind of goes over this way a little bit. So I have to pull it back this way to make it go straight. That's what I'm working on now. Probably put it on time lapse and let you have fun with that. Play some funky music here. This is what I got. I got screw here, screw here. I got this top edge done. By top edge, I mean the top of the car. This will be the bottom of the car. And so I got this top edge, flush all the way down. But then over here, on the bottom side, it started to go flush. Well, I got my holes lined up here, and I have a little overhang, but I figure it's on the bottom anyway. If anything, I can cut that off. But then it goes, kind of level and flush again. And but then right here, it's flush where that screw is. They're even. And but then right after that, it takes a big dip all the way down. And but it's still flush up here for the most part. But then what I'm gonna do is squish this in. It can't hurt any because this is the bottom of the car anyway. There is a notch right here, and make sure that those notches line up with the other one, because those are probably factory, probably where kind of like the holes up here, to make sure that these holes are lined up, and then that way left and right, or that they're even. So, and there is a notch here, but there's not in the AMD one, and I think that's the only one left throughout. I got a big hole here. should probably patch that with a piece of metal. Once I close that up, I'll see. If anything, it's another vent. Maybe I won't. But anyway, so yeah, so what I'll do, and also when you look at it this way, you can't really see it in the video, but it does, this part kind of drops down a little. So if I push that back in, plus you don't want all that hanging out under the bottom of your car anyway, so that can't hurt any. As long as this line here is straight with this, we should be good. But this, if that goes in, no problem there. So I'm just going to do that and go from there.
Let's get started.
That's better. I put a coffee can under here, just put my weight on this part, push down on it to close up the gap, and then that gap closed up real nice. There's a little tiny bit that shows, but that's nothing. And then here it's pretty flush. So yeah, just a little spot from about here to here where it gets kind of high. But that's where this part here, this piece of metal was spliced into this one. But yeah, so anyway, now the overhang is about even on both sides all the way down. It's a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. I just hope I know what I'm doing, because I've never done this before. So the next step, I'll clamp all this together and then I'll weld it, make sure everything's nice and tight. Right here, these are drains for the bottom of the car where the metal bends right there. So those do not get clamped shut. That way the water can and stuff have a place to come out of there. Okay guys, we had dinner. Now I'm back in the garage. And it's time to put this doohickey in, if it'll fit. I think the angle might be off a little, but now that I squished them together, maybe it closed it up, so it's not so weird. I hope. Hi guys, how you doing? We got sticks to chew on. Hello. And welcome to Heaven's Mopars. It's another Mopar day. It looks like we're sitting on, I see a 1 there, and a 0. The weekend took up a lot of my time and I didn't get anything done because Super Bowl. I've seen some friends that I haven't seen in 15 years, so we hung out all day Saturday. So we didn't get much done. So we left off here at the rocker, and it's all assembled, and I want to install it as a whole piece, just put the whole thing on. What I was going to do is take it apart because I need to weld this bracket on the inside, and then there is also another bracket right here that goes on the inside of it as well. And what I think I'm going to do in order to install this as a whole unit is take this bracket off of here and weld it inside there, and then just have that flange sticking out, and then weld this on the inside of it, reassemble everything, put it together as one piece, and then put it in. What I was going to do is take, when I took it apart to put this in, is just weld this inner rocker on here through the backside, and then I can put it around this and just leave that installed. But then I was going to take the outer rocker and put it on the outside of it but then I would have to weld through the bottom of that, mark it, drill holes in it and everything, so I knew exactly where they were, and then try to put, Wesley, no, back up, you're gonna knock me over again. And where was I? And then, but if I did that, then trying to make these two line up again where these screws are might be kind of a challenge. And I thought it might just be easier to take that bracket off, weld it on, take everything, throw it up as a hole, and then what I would do is drill holes through these flanges and then put the whole unit on, and then weld from this side onto the back of that. So I will just do that instead. So now I need to take this apart so that I can put these brackets in. This is the bracket that came off of this. This was off of a 69 Coronet 4-door car. And this bracket went right here. Those holes went right there. This measures 3 inches down. So I'll just put it in the same spot on the other one. Something I had to do with this brace was bend at the bottom of it right here. This was straight across, but I don't know if the braces are the same or the distances between here and here, between a 4-door and a 2-door, but that didn't want to fit. So what I did was I kind of made it fit, and I'll just run a stitch along the side here and fill that plug in back there because this hole no longer reaches, and then I'll just plug weld those in. And then something else I'm gonna do is to mark exactly where that brace goes so that I will know exactly where everything will line back up when I put it back together. I took my handy dandy pencil and made some handy dandy marks. I have a helper again. He loves to help. Hey, Wesley. Okay, that's what I'm working on. I'm gonna put the phone right there on my driveline hoop. Come on, help me out. Try this again. When that comes off, I'll show you. There it is. There it was. And with the sealer, caulk, whatever it is, I left that there so I'd know exactly where to put it. And hopefully I put it exactly in here so that when I put everything on, it'll line up exactly where it's supposed to be. That should help a little. I just took a hammer and hammered that flat again, and I was looking at the bottom of it, and it's kind of roasty, toasty. It looked like there's only one spot weld holding the whole thing in, so I don't know how important that is to have them all hooked up, but I'll try to do better than just that one. I put it back on, took my pencil and traced around the inside as well, and then I put some little dots there to show where to weld. And so what I'll do is take a drill those holes out so that I can weld onto that somehow. Well, we're all done. Nice halo, huh? I forgot to record that I'd use some weld-through primer on the bottom of these. I sprayed everything after I ground it down, but I just forgot to record it. So there it is. I did it in sections here, like 3 or 4 sections, so it wouldn't get too hot. Then I filled in the back hole and part of the front hole. Over here, same thing, got little plug welds. Had an issue with my welder over here and had to stop. My wire got stuck. And then I started welding here, and I did 3 of them, and then I was like, oh crap, I wasn't supposed to do that. Because what happens is all the metal has to slide in between there and sandwich everything. So I have to undo all those 3 right there. I was having fun. Got ahead of myself. I had to test fit it. I already looked at it, but I'll show you what's going on. When I said I got ahead of myself and welded those, I was thinking this metal here on the bottom went all the way across, but it doesn't. It stops right at the edge of this right here. And so I can just go ahead and weld all these up. It's the other piece that comes on top of this as well. I'll just have to grind them flat. I feel good where it's at. However, it's just sitting there right now, resting on my knee. I need an extra set of hands to put it exactly where it goes, but I'm very close to where it goes. If I push this and that and everything else, it closes up pretty good. Maybe 1/8 of an inch off, if anything, but that works for me. Dream big. Work hard.
That was easy.
Thanks for watching.